Hello, Zach here, bringing you game 2 of 5 in the Nations Cup tournament round 1 between Germany and Norway. This is a continuation of the last game, I suppose you could say, in this tournament, and all players will actually be playing all 5 games, regardless if one team wins all 5 or not. So it's not a best of 5, it is a play all 5, or else we will kick you or something like that, I don't know. Anyway, in green today we do have Bender playing in green, spectated by Cision, obviously, as you can see here. His teammate is Blaze over on this side, spectated by the Prophet. He's playing as Indians. My bad, Bender is actually playing as Byzantines again, and Blaze here, playing as Indians. Over to the other side of the map, we do have in yellow the Viper playing as Saracens, and his teammate Bad Trip playing as Byzantines. So it's the same civilizations as the last game, only they've swapped over. Before, I remember the Viper had the Indians, but this time it's not him with the Indians, it's Bender over here. So, not Bender, even it's Blaze over here. So on the top of the map we do have Indians versus Saracens, and on the bottom of the map we do have Byzantines versus Byzantines, obviously. And it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes, because we did see the Viper and Bad Trip playing a very good game last time, and they were very, very capable of doing a lot of damage very early on, actually getting their opponents out in a fairly nice time. And actually, I'm very surprised that the Indians managed to walk all over the Saracens so quickly. We'll be able to see how it goes in this one. Of course, the map is Cenotes, or Cenotes. I'm not 100% sure how that should be pronounced, and it makes a nice little it's a nice little idea to get a dock out rather on these little lakes, as it will give you a little food boost. Viper deciding to do just that, and so is not Bad Trip, sorry, Blaze down here as well. Just having a look what Bad Trip's doing. So pretty good stuff. Looks like Viper just took out Blaze's scout cavalry there. Not good to lose your scout so early on. Let's have a quick look at there we go, at his fog of war view. Yeah, he's going to lose out on a lot of scouting right there, and my bad for not refreshing the scores. I should really notice that a bit earlier on. And wow, he's going to want to move that. Viper could take out a fishing ship there if he doesn't actually pay attention. What is he doing? Is he going to pay attention? Oh, I actually thought he was going to let his fishing ship die right there. That would have been absolutely terrible. And there is a couple of maps actually that have a lot of shallows in with big fish, and you can actually attack them with scout cavalries, and they do die extremely quickly. And Viper going to get in there and harass these fishing ships. That's absolutely brilliant. He's going to stop him from doing what he does, and that is kind of good for him. Viper losing out on some scouting for it, but he knows where Blaze is anyway, because he can see his dock. He knows he must be nearby. Kind of funny to see him do that. He may even manage to get one over here. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, is he going to do it? Yes, he is! I want to see him take out this fishing ship. It was so close. That fishing ship has what, 3 HP left? One more hit and he would have taken it down. That's so funny, killing off a fishing ship with your scout in the Dark Age. But anyway, Blaze is up to the feudal age, I think. No, yeah, he is feudal. Viper's feudal. Bad Trip is feudal, and Bender is feudal as well. Let's see what we've got then. Well, obviously the Byzantines going for the archers into a crossbowman kind of build. That doesn't surprise me at all. Bender going for something similar with archery ranges. We won't see any scout rushes from them. And I'm going to be interested to keep my eye on the Viper to see what strategies he goes for. If we actually have a look at the Indian tech tree real quick, just to remind ourselves what they do get. They can, my bad, because Viper isn't Indians, is he? He's Saracens. I want to keep my eye on Blaze to see what he does, because he is Indians. But of course, Saracens do get pretty nice fleshed out tech tree. They do have a pretty good archery range, as you can see, which will mean that he will probably go for archers, crossbowmen, and you can tell already that he's going to do that. The amount of gold collectors he's got, his second archery range going up right there, and after that archery range we'll probably see the blacksmith, which is what usually happens. 2 archery ranges, blacksmith, and then harassment from there. Being chased by 2 jaguars, that's a bit of a shame. That Spearman's going to come in a little bit damaged, and Bender actually starting to get out some skirmishers rather than archers straight off the bat, and that's probably because he's lacking a little bit of gold. Same for Bad Trip on this side. Viper probably going to go straight for archers though, and yeah, he is going to do just that, and send them out over here. They might just be able to pick off this fishing ship. One archer could one-shot that, oh no, maybe not one shot, he could, yeah, 3 shots and that fishing ship is down. Let's see, I want to see him do this. I just want to see that fishing ship die. I'm so evil. Blaze starting to wall off on the top of his map. He's actually got a fairly nice map for walling, I think. It's not too bad. You just wall this area and this side here, and he's all walled in. So that's not too bad for him. He's actually gone for a stable, and the profit. I keep meaning to click on Blaze, but he's not in the list. It's just the Prophet. Going for a stable, making a few scouts. Let's see what he's able to do with these guys. He may be able to inflict some damage, but of course the Viper will have some spearmen up already out just to protect his eco, of course. And Bender going with a little trush here. Not bad at all. He did prevent Bad Trip from gathering any wood from this location. Of course, he's got wood collectors at the back, but it does make it a little bit more easy for him to go send in some harassment. However, skirmishers without fletching don't really do that much damage at all. They really need fletching if he's going to be attacking villagers with skirmishers. And of course, he can actually get in to Bad Trip's base in multiple places. There's a hole here. He could of course come around this side and attack villagers from here, or even put another tower there if he wants to. And of course, there's one around the back as well. Bad Trip putting up a watchtower right here, probably just to protect his stone. And that makes sense because he may want to make sure he can get some stone if Bender decides to continue on with a trush of sorts. Going to try and take down that villager. Not going to happen, I don't think. It will make it back to the TC in time. And now Bad Trip going to push out a little bit. And in comes Blaze with a few scouts. Just a few. Going to go around the back of Viper. If he gets in here, he could kill off a couple of villagers, of course. Viper without much of an army. And I think he did manage to take that fishing ship down. He's just going to whittle away at these guys. But in comes Blaze with his scout cavalries, and he is going to take out one villager at the least. He may come around and take another if he's lucky. I think he may just do it. He may just gang up on the spearman, take the spearman out as quick as he can, because that's the one that's going to inflict the most damage to him. He's safe and sound right there. He could even get another villager in this here, right here, and wow, not bad from Blaze at all. He's losing a couple of scouts though to the archers, but he is doing that economic damage, which is so important, and finally pushed away by the Viper, ganging up on him with all of his villagers. But look how low these villagers are on HP. So low. Losing 1, 2, and 3, maybe 4 in the process as well. Not so great for him. Bender is continuing to kind of just stay around Bad Trip's base. He's not actually done that much damage to Bad Trip at all. Bad Trip just getting his blacksmith up right now, and we should see a blacksmith from all of these players pretty shortly around this time. And Bad Trip moving out. I'm not sure exactly where he's going to go. He's going to meet Bender's army straight on, it seems, and I do like this map. There's a lot of elevation on this map in the middles, which does make fighting a lot more interesting, which is kind of a good thing there. And as you can see, Blaze's scout cavalry extremely low on HP right there as well. Having a little bit of a scuffle on this hill right here. Bad Trip vastly outnumbers Bender on in this case, so he will be able to do a bit of damage to him. No fletching for either of them yet, and let's keep an eye on the Indians. Another stable coming up. So Blaze may decide to go for those camels once he does reach the castle age. Viper is already advancing up, and Blaze is already halfway there, so he's doing a pretty good job there. Going to get to the castle age in a nice time, but Viper with the +1 attack on his archers, one-shotting most of these villagers, and he's drawn it even, really. He's killed off 3 villagers right there, the same as Blaze did to him. Blaze chasing him down with a few skirmishers, but of course he does he doesn't outrange them. He did outrange them, and then Blaze obviously got fletching, but he does have a lot more numbers. He will be able to hit and run on these skirmishers right here, and he is actually pushing them away. Blaze's score dropping now as Viper does some really good harassment over here. Over on this side again, we do have Bender now pushing out with even more skirmishers. He's just gone for a huge skirmisher army, don't blame him. They are playing as Byzantines after all, and they're just going to battle it out for this hill. I imagine this hill will be quite a nice little focal point, maybe this gold here as well, because it's in the middle. And surprisingly enough, he's not even taking any gold. Only he is taking gold. He's taking gold at the back. I was going to say he's not taking any gold whatsoever, but this gold is not taken from, and that's kind of weird because it's close to his town centre, whereas this one's further away. But nevertheless, Viper now into the. Oh no, he's not into the castle age. He's nearly into the castle age, but Blaze is into the castle age, and he is going to be making a couple of camels. He would be mad not to. He is Indian, so he wants to try them out and see how they go. Of course, the Indians' camels do have extra pierce and melee armor for free once they are created, or it's just the Indian Civ bonus. Though he doesn't have a great economy at the moment. His economy is pretty bad at the moment, I've got to say. He does need some more gold to make more camels, and he does need more food as well, obviously. And he's struggling a little bit. He's quite low on villagers over on that side, and Bender is still outside of Bad Trip's base. They're just having a little bit of a fight. I don't blame them. They are just they've got so many skirmishes. It's brilliant. I want to see if either of them are actually going to go to the Castle Age. Well, nice. Yeah, Bad Trip is quite far behind here. He's still feudal. He's not going to advance just yet. He needs another 100 food. But Bender will be into the Castle Age in just a moment. He may upgrade Elite Skirmisher. He's got a lot of Elite Skirmishers already on the map, and we may see Elite Skirmisher from him very shortly, if not Bodkin Arrow as well. And that is kind of good for him. He might just be able to push a little bit of an advantage on to a Bad Trip right now. No upgrades coming from him just yet. I'll keep an eye on that. And now Viper upgraded to Crossbowman. And kind of interesting stuff. I think the the Blaze here is going to have a little bit of a hard time with just camels. He will, of course, be looking to use his camels against any cavalry that may come out, but against crossbowmen, they're not so great. They're okay, but they're not so great. That's why Blaze is making a siege workshop. He will probably go for a mangonel of sorts, or even a mangonel, I should say, and he will probably get a mangonel out and do some splash damage to these crossbowmen. That's what his aim is to do. He's queuing a mangonel up already, but Viper's broken through his walls once again, and he is right in there. He may just be able to kill off a few more villagers, do some more damage. He's ungarrisoning these camels here, gonna try and see what he can do with those, but of course, possibly in for a hard time. 2 pierce armor, 120 HP, 5 attack. We'll see what they can do. Of course, Viper can micro the crossbowmen. The camels, different story really. Let's see if he can actually inflict a bit of damage with these guys. He's going to go send them in. What can he do? In comes the mangonel as well. Great shot on there. And he may just be able to clear these up very nicely. Viper going to run to the trees. And yeah, very nicely done there by Blaze. If he gets another mangonel shot on, he will have reduced Viper's army to rubble pretty much, chasing him down now. Camel's doing a pretty decent job actually. He's losing a couple, losing 3, 4. They die pretty quickly to these crossbowmen, but he is starting to pick away at him, and Blaze's team just take the score lead there as Bender goes right into Bad Trip's base with the Elite Skirmishers. Really nicely done. He's going to be able to kill off a lot of Bad Trip's skirmishers right there. Not to mention probably doing quite a bit of damage to villagers as well. And Bad Trip only just reaching the castle age right now. Not so good for him as, yeah, nicely done there. Blaze finishing off the Viper with some help from his friend. And that is some good play right there. Viper now without much of an army. He's got a few more crossbowmen back at base. He's throwing out a monastery right there. He may go for a few monks to convert some of the camels. He may just decide to pick up some of the relics. We'll have to wait and see for that one. But Bender doing a really good job inside of Bad Trip's base. Bad Trip deciding to go for a siege workshop and a new town centre. He needs to get his economy back on track and keep building his economy, of course. Bodkin Arrow as well, obviously, and now getting a mangonel of his own when he can afford it. Going to try and take out as many elite skirmishers as he can. Does Bender have a siege workshop? Well, no, he does not. And mangonels can be extremely deadly against, of course, skirmishers, elite skirmishers, and archers as well. So he may want to get a mangonel out, and of course mangonels are a great counter to mangonels. If you've only got elite skirmishers, good luck killing a mangonel. It's going to be a hell of a micro challenge, and it's not impossible, but it's not really ideal either. So mangonel coming out for Bad Trip, that could really help him out, and he's going to work on his economy a little bit. Viper already with 3 TCs. pretty good stuff from him, getting his economy in shape. And of course, playing as Saracens, it's a standard civilization, so it's going to be a lot more comfortable to play with than one of the new ones just yet. Though the new civilizations are pretty decent for just picking up and getting straight stuck in. They're not impossible to figure out. In comes Viper again with some more crossbowmen. Going to be forced away as this Mangonel is protecting Blaze right here. Over on this side of the map, we still have Bender on his hill, and Monastery from him as well. Not really sure what he's going to do with that. Is he going to go and collect up the relics? Is he going to go and get some conversions? We'll have to wait and see, of course. And Byzantines, pretty good civilization, actually. Ooh, actually, I did not notice that. Look at that, Bender going Imperial right now. I think he may just be the first one to do it. Indeed he is. Bender going Imperial. Not like a really slow time, a really fast time or anything. It's pretty fast, not super fast. Bear in mind, he's only made skirmishes this whole game, which of course has allowed him to get that extra gold in. It's allowed him to, of course, get plenty of food as well, because he's not spending so much on things like knights, just queuing up so many elite skirmishes. He's going Doubt style on this, and a pretty decent economy as well. 4th town centre coming up. Bender doing a great job here, and he is going to start dominating. I think once he reaches the Imperial Age, he could do a lot of damage. I'm interested to see what happens there. Viper now coming around with Bad Trip. They're merging their forces together, going to try and hit Bender at home, see what he can actually do. But of course, Bender chasing him down with a lot of elite skirmishes. Blaze for the time being pretty much undamaged, unharassed even. And he is, well, what's he going to do? He's sending out camels here. Of course, camels, as I say, don't make great raiding units, but he's going to head the Viper off. You may be able to pick off a couple of crossbowmen there. These crossbowmen, as they fire, well, they need 2 shots each to bring down 1 camel. Of course, being chased down by elite skirmishers as well. Viper will lose a few more crossbowmen here, and Bender almost into the Imperial Age. Pretty nice stuff indeed. No one else going up to the Imperial yet, and Viper can actually afford to go Imperial, which is kind of interesting. Perhaps that's why he went for the monastery and the university rather than just going for the castle. He's going to go Imperial pretty soon, I'm sure. In fact, yeah, he is now. Just clicked up. I was wondering why it took him a little while. A few Wallalows over here, and these camels could be lost if they stick around much longer. They are going to move out of the way, and the Viper now going to push back to where he came from. Of course, Bad Trip going to lose a few of these crossbowmen back here. They're all very low on HP, being chased down by the elite skirmishers. And this is really good play by Bender just as he reaches the Imperial Age right now. And he's got a lot of elite skirmishers right there. Is he going to be upgrading them at the blacksmith straight away, or is he going to go for a different kind of tech line? Because at the end of the day, he's probably not going to win the game with skirmishers, let's be honest. He's going to have to throw some extra things in there. He may upgrade to capture ram perhaps, and just try and go for a ram push, really catch him off guard. This could be pretty good stuff right here. Camels coming in from Blaze, taking out some of the skirmishers, but of course they don't fare well against town centres or watchtowers, so camels again pretty useless raid units. And this is kind of interesting. I'm interested to see what Bender's strategy here is. He's doing a pretty good job, I've got to say. Bracer being researched, so extra range and attack for his skirmishers still. And I want to see exactly what he's going to do. I'm interested now. He's got me very interested. A very interesting, unique playstyle, I think. No, not very often we see just a huge, massive skirmishers and rams with a kind of fast Imperial without much tech behind it. We'll be able to see what he goes for. Viper helping out Bad Trip a little bit here with a few more units. Bad Trip expanding to the back with the 4th town centre now. Of course, you can expect to see much bigger economies in the Forgotten Empires, as the population limit is 250, not 200, which does mean you can have another 50 or so, or another 30 or so villages and an extra 20 army. So kind of cool stuff there. Viper's going to reach Imperial very soon, and of course playing as Saracens, he may go for Mameluke, though he doesn't have a castle just yet, so he may wait a bit. He's going to get a castle up right here. He's probably a little bit worried about Bender over this side, so he's protecting his flank over here. Light cavalry being researched. He's going to go for hussars by the looks of things, and this castle will go up, maybe back that up with some Mamelukes as well. Of course, this map's got quite a bit of gold on it, plenty of gold to sustain big army production, and Bender upgrading to capture ram now. Is he going to make a push. What is he going to do? I want to see him start to push out. He's got quite a bit of an army. If he sends the capped rams in, not a lot that Bad Trip can do to defend against it, apart from the light cavalry, I suppose. But there's always the camels from Blaze to counter them. Kind of interesting. I want to see where this one goes, of course. And in comes the Viper with a few light cavalry as well. He will be, of course, upgrading those again pretty shortly, I imagine. There's Hussar being researched. Conscription being researched as well. He's not going to get any Mamelukes just yet. He's quite low on food, actually, to be honest. So maybe not the best idea. There's Hussars and Conscription, of course, just to increase his unit production rate. And pretty nice stuff at the moment. Viper with a relic as well, so he's not going to run out of gold just yet. And I think this could be a long game. Bender is looking pretty strong over on this side of the map, and Blaze reaching Imperial Age right now. Of course, he's playing as Indians. I want to see what he goes for. What kind of tech does he go for? I'm looking at the wrong person, my bad. He's going for heavy camel husbandry, and that's about it for now. Maybe we'll see some extra upgrades on the blacksmith. The most armor that the camel can have is +5 pierce and foot +5 melee armor, and of course with the upgrades for the heavy and imperial camel, they get extra HP and attack. So that's pretty cool stuff. Castle coming out. We may see some elephant archers, but this is the main focal point of the battle at the moment. They are going to be trying to work together to break through here, but of course there's a few hussars, and they are a real nightmare to deal with if you've got elite skirmishers, as they will just cut them down really quickly. And of course the monks at the back getting a few conversions on these camels here. Really nicely done by the Viper with his 4 monks, really starting to turn the tides of that battle. And Bender going to lose most of his skirmishers to these hussars if he's not careful. They are really going to struggle killing these hussars. What can they actually do? Not a great deal. Fortunately, the camel is just coming in, starting to pick them off. Moving in with the rams now, but of course the rams will get taken down by the light cavalry if he's not careful. Don't target houses. Why are you targeting houses? Maybe he's going to try and get this watchtower down. But no siege ram from Bender just yet, so kind of interesting. I don't think this push is going to have much actually behind it, and once he loses these skirmishers and the rams, he's got nothing left. Of course, maybe going to be easy to replenish his army if he's just using skirmishers, but in comes the Viper with some hussars, going to raid Bender's economy, which is not good for him at all. And you can see that Bender is the stronger of the two players at the moment, making this push on to Bad Trip. But Bad Trip getting out some cataphracts as well. They will make extremely short work of the skirmishers, and maybe he'll upgrade those to elite with some trample damage later on. But for now, in comes the Viper with his hussars, going to try and hit Bender's economy wherever he can. He's going to be able to kill off quite a few villagers actually. He's doing a nice job down there, but Blaze is going to help him out and send some heavy camels over, now with +5 defense on melee and ranged, so he will be able to deal with the hussars pretty quickly. Of course, the camels aren't the fastest of units. They do have husbandry now, but still fairly slow compared to the hussars. But of course, they are still heavy cavalry, so what can you expect? Is he going to go for the Imperial Camel? Well, he's not going to do that just... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong person still. My gosh. Is he going to go for the Imperial Camel? Well, not just yet, but all of these guys getting close to 200 population mark and beyond. But this is not nice for Bender. He's got a lot of units in his economy, and there's not really a lot he can do about it. He can't really just wall right now, and that is not good at all. He's losing that at the front line here, but Bad Trip has sustained very big losses on the front. He's lost quite a few units, but then again, he's taken out a lot of units as well. So Viper and Bad Trip still currently just about in the lead. Bad Trip just reaching the Imperial Age himself, and Bender making some pikemen to deal with the hussars from the Viper. Of course, they are being chased down by Blaze's heavy camels. But Bender, I've not really seen that much from him. Alright, yeah, he's fielded a pretty good attack, but it was just trash, and he's not making any gold units just yet, though he does have quite a bit of gold in the bank. He's probably got a lot of upgrades at the moment. I'm waiting to see what his plan of attack is. They're just deciding whether they should make trade or not. They may just do that, and if they do make trade, I imagine it'll be harassed pretty easily. Viper can easily send Mamelukes or even just hussars down from here, straight down through the middle, and hit their trade when they decide to do that. Viper now with a few elite Mamelukes, just adding an extra attack on there. I imagine that was Blast Furnace, and now he's going to move out, and let's see how the Mamelukes fare against the Imperial Camels once Blaze upgrades them. Mamelukes, of course, a pretty strong unit. They are known for being a very strong unit in the game, and at the moment making short work of the heavy camels, even with that extra melee armor. Of course, elite Mamelukes do melee damage. Just want to remind you guys of that if you didn't know already, and where's he gone? Is he upgrading to Imperial Camo? Yes, he is. It's 60% there, and another castle on the front as well. We may see some Elephant Archers, though I can't really see a huge need for them at the moment. Elephant Archers, to me, aren't really that useful in this game, I don't think, at the moment. We'll have to see how that one goes. They may decide to throw them in a bit later, but like the Persian War Elephant, they really are one of those late-game units, as they are so expensive. Bit of a battle going on right here. The Prophet is actually doing a pretty decent job against the Mamelukes, to be fair. He has got the heavy camels, of course, which have got the extra melee and pierce armor, and look at that, he's actually dealing quite a bit of damage to these elite Mamelukes, which I believe are fully upgraded. Now he does have the Imperial Camel as well, making very short work of those Mamelukes, and this is where the balancing comes in. What can he do against the Imperial Camels as Saracens? Well, let's be honest, the Imperial Camel will make short work of the Hussar, they will make short work of the elite Mamelukes, it does seem. Let's see if we can actually deal with this over here, though. 160 HP and quite a lot of attack as well, more than the Mameluke by 1, I believe. Yeah, more than 1, and more pierce armor as well, more HP. So the Mameluke's going to be up against a little bit of a tough time here, and more Imperial Camels coming in. Blaze continuing to pump them out as he takes the score lead as well. This is looking actually fairly promising for Team Germany in this game. Norway is doing a pretty good job still, though, but Bad Trip having a tough time also over here, making some arbalests and halberdiers on this side. Pretty nice unit choice, actually. Of course, you may just be able to deal with most of what Bender can throw out at the moment. He's making halberdiers and elite skirmishers still. More trash to come, and now you can see the population limit for Blaze, 205 at the moment, 195, 245. Bender with a huge population, a massive economy at the moment, and the Viper on 250 max pop, just not with the numbers at the moment. Castle going up for the Viper at the front right here, and he will want to take out these Imperial Camels quickly if he can. This Mameluke going to go brave it up and go against those two right there, and in comes more Mamelukes. I'm not sure. I don't know if the Mamelukes should die so easily to the Imperial Camels, perhaps. It's hard to say at the moment. Of course, the Imperial Camels do have husbandry, so they can catch the Mamelukes up, even though the Mamelukes are slightly faster, I believe. Going to be a tough one, I think. Blaze doing a pretty good defense, just going all out Imperial Camels. If he throws in some wrong person again. If he throws in some, perhaps, I don't know, gunpowder, or if he throws in some elephants archers, that could be pretty cool to see as well, just for fun of it, just for the fun of it indeed. And the Viper is still score leading in his team, as I think Bad Trip's having a little bit of a tough time, but he's starting to push out right now. And of course, Viper distracting Bender on this side by almost taking out this castle. And this could be a pretty intense long game, actually. They do have huge economies. They can sustain production for a long time, and that is a very big army of Imperial Camels. Of course, the Viper going to stand on the hill, go for the hill advantage. He has got the castle as well. The castle, of course, will inflict big damage to the Imperial Camels. I think that's one of the best things you can actually do, a forward castle against these guys. And the Imperial Camels now starting to get cut down, but this is a problem. Bender coming in from the back with some elite skirmishers as well. This castle will have to do its fair share to take down the Imperial Camels here, and of course only heavy camels for the Viper. You can see the difference in this. They have more HP, yes, but they have much less attack, much less pierce and melee armor. Going to be tough for the Viper to actually sustain damage to Blaze here. Of course, if you did get Imperial camels, they would be the strongest camels in the game. So at the moment, Saracens don't have Imperial camels. It could be looked at though. I think Saracens maybe would be too strong with Imperial camels. I think perhaps Turks could get Imperial camels, maybe. But for the time being, it is only Indians who do get them. I just want to clarify that. And of course, this castle is so important for the Viper, and it looks like he's going to lose it right now. That is not good for him. That has just made his job 5 times harder, probably, killing off these camels on this side. Not good at all. It looks like Bad Trip's starting to push back though. Bender's still refusing to make any gold units. I imagine he's got quite a lot of gold. Yeah, 1.2, 1.4k even, and being pushed back very slowly. But look how huge their ecos are. Of course, they can afford a lot more trade as well, and that is exactly what they're doing. Viper starting to get up trade with Bad Trip right now also, and pretty good stuff. But Viper going to start pushing forwards, and we will see some very large armies for the rest of the game because their economies are so huge. They can sustain massive unit production. Viper on 197 pop, Blaze on 200 at the moment. Got room for another 30. And Viper just paying a lot of food to Bad Trip right there. And I think he's feeling confident he can take Blaze out here. If they can get into their trade, then they're going to be in with a shout of doing quite a bit of damage as well, of course. And really, this is just one hell of a messy game right now. Of course, it will be when it gets to the late game with 250 pop each. That's 1,000 population overall if they're all maxed out, though likely unlikely to happen. And Blaze going around the side, pretty sneaky stuff there. Viper, looking how long that takes to build that stone wall right there. He's going to try and wall that off, and of course he does have a castle here to start producing some Mamelukes to try and deal with this side here. If he can take the villagers out, prevent any more stables from going up, that would be great. And of course, take out the light cavalry and perhaps Imperial camels that might come out of here. Viper did push forwards, I believe. Oh no, he didn't. He pushed into Bender's base. Of course, Bender looking like the weaker opponent at the moment as he does only have trash. Viper going to make very short work of these elite skirmishers. Going to make very short work of the halberdiers with, of course, the Mamelukes. But in come the Imperial camels from Blaze again. Viper going to stick to his hill, but I don't know who's going to win this one. This is so hard to call at this moment because the Imperial camels obviously are very new unit, but I think equal numbers wise the Imperial camels probably will have a little advantage. Siege Workshop for Bad Trip there. Shame it wasn't a castle, as that would be really nice positioning for him. But it looks like Bad Trip starting to push through into Bender's base. Bender starting to get pushed right back. But over on this side of the map, we do have a little bit of a trouble for Viper. He's not actually done that much damage to Blaze at the moment. Blaze continuing to build, of course, and this is going to be a nightmare to deal with. I think perhaps maybe more halberdiers from Bad Trip could help out. More halberdiers, more heavy camels from the Viper could be a good idea to go against these Imperial camels. Of course, the Saracen camels with the extra 10 HP could just, I don't know, help out. I know they are all getting cut down, unfortunately, for them. Blaze with the Scorley doing an excellent job. His Imperial camels really helping him out here. Really nice sort of use of camels in this game, and this is something that you don't see so often, and it's actually really nice to see. Bad Trip could do better against the Bad Trip could do better against the Indians than the Viper can, I think. But of course, that's not going to stop him from continuing to push. 210 population for Bad Trip right now. And Bender on 140 pop. 193 for Blaze and 190 for the Viper. But look how much map Bender does have. This is incredible stuff. He has just got so many units. Probably just so much economy, I think. That's the main thing. But he's run out of gold. I don't know what he's spent it on. Maybe he's just been upgrading this whole time. Lots of halberdiers coming out, but he's continuing to make trash. Perhaps Cataphracts could be a good idea, but Viper coming in now with some siege rams, not able to take out the castle. The Imperial camels taking that one down, and Viper gonna go get right into the back, into the trade. This could be huge for him. It's a shame he didn't have Mamelukes back here, otherwise he would be able to take out the trade a lot easier, but he's going to take the trade anyway. He's going to kill off quite a few trade units here, of course. Blaze bringing in the Imperial camels, and if they run out of gold, well, that's going to be the hardest thing to deal with, the gold issue. He's not got enough gold to make more Imperial camels. He's going to have to spam hussars, I think. Or light cavalry, I can't remember which one he gets. But maybe some Mamelukes back here would be better than camels. Camels will struggle to chase down the trade carts. Viper now spamming in some hussars. starting to ease off on the Mamelukes as he runs low on gold. He's only got 202 gold left, but at this stage in the game, I think Bender and Blaze do have the better trade, which does mean that Viper and Bad Trip will have a much worse trade at the moment, but of course, they are going to try and focus on taking down this trade if they can. I'm interested to know, actually, if Camels get an attack bonus against trade carts, as they are technically kind of cavalry units. And in comes the Viper again, more siege rams, and they are coordinating their attacks quite nicely. Bad Trip just sticking to his hill. He's not really moved for a while. He needs to get more army going, and Viper's still pushing forwards with more hussars, easily able to take out these elite skirmishers. But of course, more Imperial camels coming in from Blaze, and Blaze and Bender looking pretty good. They have got the score lead at the moment. Viper and Bad Trip aren't too far behind though. This is still very, very close. Hard to say exactly who is going to take this one, but Viper taking out houses now, kind of interesting strategy if you can population block him, but I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. And Viper and Bad Trip need to coordinate an attack, but in comes some elite cataphracts from Bender right here. Really not good. They will cut through halberdiers as well. Elite cataphracts, a beastly unit, and they are something to be feared. Bad Trip going to try and go for a conversion on there, but of course losing that. And look how much damage they take. They just... oh man, elite cataphracts, so powerful, and that explains where Bender's gold did go. Pushing back now, Blaze with a lot of Imperial camels coming right at them, and going to be a tough one to actually kill them off. This cataphract just about going to die. Look how much damage it soaks up though. They take so much damage. Cataphracts just so good. But of course, if cataphracts get into the trade line, could be a bit of a problem. Could chase down quite a few trade carts and kill them off. And still, the Viper does have a heavy camel back here, still starting to pick off those trade carts, and a big push on the side from the Viper. They know they've got to take out the trade here. They really do know it, and they are going to try and do just that. If you can station some hussars over this side, you may just be able to take it down, as well as some Mamelukes as well. Of course, more cataphracts in the back from Bender. Bender doing nice little harassment there. In the middle, we still have the Imperial camels pushing forwards. Bad Trip without a lot to defend from it, and more spam coming in from Bender. But this is a really big moment for the Viper here with the Mamelukes in the trade. Look at that, one-shotting all of the trade carts. Really great stuff. He's going to take out a good 20 or 30 trade carts just here. A real problem to deal with, distracting Blaze with his hussars as well. Alright, the Mamelukes are going to get cleared up pretty quickly, but that's a lot of dead trade carts right there, and if he can evade the Imperial camels for a while whilst killing off the trade carts, he is really going to hurt their eco. And of course, if you can prevent them from getting gold, he can prevent them from getting the Imperial camels and the cataphracts, which does mean that they may just be able to take the lead again. Really hard to call it at this moment in time. But Viper going to continue to push on this right hand side. Of course, if you can take out these Imperial camels over here and take out more trade, he will be in with a shot of doing a pretty large amount of damage right there. And it looks like, yeah, but Blaze deleting his markets to stop the trade carts from moving on over. Good choice to make, but at the moment their trade is stood still, and Viper and Bad Trip still have their trade going fairly nicely, but there are a lot of cataphracts into Bad Trip's base. He really needs to protect the trade on this side. That would be terrible if it gets in, and a lot of halberdiers coming out to deal with the Imperial camels as well, and they can actually do a pretty good job of that, so that's not too bad. Viper still pushing on this right hand side, pretty nicely done, pushing the Imperial camels back once again, and it's so close. If you can take these out, no, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it actually. Too many Mamelukes on this side, although saying that, is he? It's so hard to call. We'll just have to wait and see, keep our eye on this. Who can reinforce the fastest? This looks like the Viper's got it right here. He is going to move back in once again, and he may just be able to go and get the trade again. If they do that, they could be in with a great chance of actually taking this game. But you got to bear in mind, look at the cataphracts and the arbalests in the back of Bad Trip's base. Bad Trip needs to quickly deal with these, otherwise they're going to lose trade as well. But Viper has got these Mamelukes over here. He may just get them right into the trade, kill off a few more trade carts. He's going to do exactly that. Look at these trade carts. They're just asking to be killed. They are slowly and surely just dying as they run past. That is a lot of trade being taken out right there. Really bad stuff altogether there. The Blaze here on 33 trade units, Viper on 35, Bad Trip on 29 and Bender on 38, so they still have the trade advantage, but not for long, because they are taking out these trade carts extremely quickly, and of course they haven't deleted their markets again, so it does mean that their trade is going to be pretty inactive, and they are going to be cut down pretty quickly. Of course, if Viper and Bad Trip can protect their trade for a little bit longer, they may still be in with a shout of this, but of course Bender pushing forwards with the elite cataphracts, with the arbalests as well. Bad Trip having a tough time defending, but Viper still in the back of Blaze's base, being able to kill off a lot of these Imperial camels right now. He's got a very large number of Mamelukes, now bringing in some elite skirmishers. The camels need to go and deal with those quickly, and of course still taking out those trade units. Look at the trade units drop. 33 for Bender right now. The 31 for Blaze. They are slowly dropping down, and they are going to lose more and more and more, it seems. Really not good for them at all. And of course, as the trade gets going past, it will eventually just die. A horrible death indeed. But yeah, really nice play from the Viper there, with some great harassment onto the trade line. And fortunately, Bad Trip managing to hold off Bender for the time being. I keep getting the names mixed up, my bad. Yeah, hold off Bender for the time being. There's the upgraded Palisade, just by the way. Just there we go, that's upgraded. Taken from the Age of Chivalry, I believe, that graphic. And now their trade is back going again without any harassment. But of course, the Viper bringing in a second wave now. More Rams coming in, more Camels coming in, more Mamelukes coming in, of course. And looking at their gold counts, they're all very low. The Viper, though, look how little resource he's got. This is just incredible. His resource management is just second to none, really. He has no excess of anything, even this far into the game. Like, if I was playing, I'd probably have like 10k food and 10k wood, no gold, but he's just low on everything, and that's really great play from him. And now it looks like Bad Trip's starting to push Bender back on his side of the map. Could be a real game changer right here. If he can deal with this little force from Bender right now on this side, he could really start to push forwards here as well. Bad Trip looks like he's starting to gain an advantage. Looking at their population, it's 234 for Bad Trip, 218 for Blaze, 229 for Bender, and 234 for the Viper, continuing to push on this right hand side. Of course, if he can take out the markets with his Rams, then that is GG trade. And coming in back in again, more Hussars coming in, more Mamelukes coming in. He really wants to disrupt this as much as he possibly can, doing the good thing, attacking in the right place. But of course, the Imperial Camel is going to be able to take out the Hussars pretty quickly as well. A huge battle right here, so many dead bodies on the ground. But Viper coming in with these Siege Rams. Doesn't look like Blaze has actually noticed. If he sends the Siege Rams over to the markets, could be a huge thing for the Vipers team right here. Again, losing more and more trade. They're down to, oh no, they're not. They're still back on about 30, 26 for Blaze right now. He's losing trade slowly but surely. 44 for Bad Trip and 41 for the Viper. They do have the trade advantage at this moment in time. He does still have the Mamelukes coming in, and of course he can send more in as well pretty easily. This is going to be a huge thing if Blaze loses this little battle. Viper now taking the score lead. Bad Trip just shortly following, and of course still pushing forwards on this left hand side. The Cataphracts doing huge damage though for Bender, and pushing Bad Trip back once again. Bad Trip continuing to work his way through, taking down the relics from Bender here. This is a really big thing there, losing the relics there as well, which is just not good. Losing the relics is terrible, as it really will impact your gold collection. And now look how many trade carts are dead right here. So many trade carts, as they're coming in, they are just getting killed off, and of course that really will deny them so much gold, and that is of course not good at all. Profit down to 18 trade units. Compare that to Bad Trip's 53 and Viper's 41. That is a huge difference, and now Bad Trip and Viper are going to take the lead with the gold here. Could be huge for them, and of course Viper going to continue to push this area, taking out more and more trade, taking out pretty much everything that comes at him. Of course, Bender going to try and help him out as well. But these Mamelukes doing a pretty decent job, I've got to say. And it's surprisingly, Viper isn't actually taking that much of the map. His economy is pretty big, but it's not as big as other players. I mean, just look at this. It's just so much stuff everywhere. I had a feeling this would be a long one, and that indeed it is. And now the Viper being pushed back once again. Blaze going to try and quickly wall this, but of course there's no such thing as quickly walling in the Forgotten Empires. Walling takes time, and you can't just throw up a wall in a matter of seconds. It it does take time. And of course, the Viper does still have siege rams as well, going to continue to push through. And the Viper, a little bit concerned over here, it seems. Not sure why. He's Xing over this side. Not 100% again sure why. Bender still with a few arbalests right here. He does need to just keep pushing. And I think the Viper and Bad Trip really starting to gain an advantage now they've taken out so much of their trade. Just look at that mess. Who left that stain on the carpet? I've got no idea, but it's disgusting. Anyway, Viper continuing to push forwards with his Mamelukes. I think the best choice for him now is just Mamelukes and Hussars as meat shields. And really, it's still so hard to say who is going to take this game. The scores are still so close together. And of course, now Bad Trip going to continue to wall up here. Seeing how long it takes. Look, it does take a long while. Viper going to continue to push on the right. And it looks like Bender's just, Blaze, sorry, he's just going to get this wall up. That's really big. He is going to protect his trade there. And this game could go on for another hour for all I know. Let's just wait and see. I'm going to play it back in fast because I do just want to make sure we aren't commentating this game for another hour or so, because I will be absolutely knackered after that. Look at these Mamelukes getting cut down so quickly. They are going to try and kill off more trade though, of course. There is a huge part of the late game, but not managing to do so, losing to the Imperial Camels once again. And I just want to note, you may be wondering why the game runs so fast when I'm running it in fast mode still. It's because Forgotten Empires does have some tweaks that make it run faster. So yeah, all these guys over 200 population right now as well. Huge economies, making it a little bit more stalematey, I guess. Viper now losing his Hussars to the Imperial Camels, of course, and the trade is back up for Bender and the Prophet, Blaze even. They really need to make some kind of push right here that can actually really break through. But looking at how much gold Bad Trip's got, he could do a lot of damage on this side even. Now with Enages, a lot of Enages coming through as well, and that is kind of handy because we know that Bender's going to be going mainly trash at the moment. The Enages is going to be firing upon there, doing a lot of damage, and of course the hand cannoneers at the rear as well. Needs to deal with Cataphracts though, and they do soak up a ton of damage. In comes the Viper again with some more Mamelukes. They're going almost 2v1 on Bender on this side. Blaze is nowhere to be seen. Another huge battle, and of course the Enages could get a huge shot off right here. If he gets a shot with the Enages, yes, gonna kill off so many elite skirmishers right there. And as well, the siege ram's gonna not last long at all. This could be a huge push for them. And in comes Blaze with, surprise, some more elite Imperial Camels. A lot of halberdiers from Bad Trip as well though here, which could deal with the Camels quite nicely. If they focus their efforts on this area, Bender could actually lose this one. Really hard to say. Cavalier coming in from Bad Trip, kind of an interesting unit choice. Is he going to upgrade them to Paladin or not? I'm not really sure. Let's actually have a look there. Yeah, he is upgrading Paladin, though they don't have the best Paladins in the game. One of the worst Paladins in the game. He will still make Paladins and throw them in there, but look how much food and look how much food and gold he's got. He is rich at the moment. Viper starting to get low on gold again, but he does have a lot more units. Throwing in some hand cannoneers there. Not really sure, 100% sure why. And everyone else pretty low on gold, but look how much gold Bad Trip has got. This could be huge for him. His trade with 48 trade units now. Paladins coming in as well. Of course, Paladins don't fare very well against the Imperial Camels, but they will be able to do a better job against the Cataphracts. And of course, backed up by halberdiers and hand cannoneer. I think we've seen pretty much the whole of well, every single unit in the game this matchup, because of course the Byzantines have such a fleshed out tech tree. This game, so hard to say which way it's going to go. Viper and Bad Trip still in the lead, but Blaze and Bender still not far behind. God, where is this one going to go? So many siege rams coming in, kind of useful to soak up that arrow fire, and of course bring in some more from his own. He's bringing some siege and ages in now. This could be a game changer for the Viper. The siege and ages is going to cut through here, and oh, he just did lose them unfortunately for him. And he is going to continue to push using the siege and ages. Going to get a big hit on the skirmishers, of course, and Bad Trip starting to really push forwards on Bender's side as well. Now with the Paladins coming in, this is going to be really big for him. I think Bad Trip can actually break look at Bender here. Bender really doesn't have any army left whatsoever on his side. Bad Trip with so much gold, so much food, he can continue to spam out those paladins. And look at his population, 240 pop for him, as well as the fact he's continuing to push. The Viper maxed out on 250 pop as well. This could be where it all changes now, and I think Viper and Bad Trip may just take this game. Hard to call at this moment in time, but in come the bombard cannons from behind as well, and the Viper may just continue to break down Blaze here. Blaze, of course, with so little gold, and he is dropping population rapidly, or even he's gaining and then losing, but either way, he's at 200 and Viper is at 250. Viper could push this to his advantage right here. This could be really big for him. Bad Trip, of course, going to start pushing on the left-hand side, really starting to whittle away at Bender right here, taking down that castle as he goes. An Aegis, sorry, coming in as well. And now I think, yeah, with more paladins, I think Bender is going to lose on this side. Viper, of course, still look like a yellow spear coming through on this side. And look how much trade they've got again now, up to 53. He needs to get back in there and take out the trade quickly so that they can run out of gold. I mean, look, Bender's now got 2k gold. Bad Trip down to 2k as well. The Prophet, Blaze 222. Viper 800. Coming forwards with a castle. He needs to get castles up to deal with the Imperial Camels, of course. And now the Imperial Camels starting to be whittled away by the Unages and everything like that. Another castle forwards for the Viper. See if he can get that one up. If he can get that up, that could be huge for him. He needs to take down this gate though and really start to get in there, get down that, take down the trade. That is what his main objective is to do. He's going to X down the middle. Oh, that is actually open. He could actually get down there. That is a very open area of the map. And oh man, Bender starting to push Bad Trip back as well. Bad Trip now on 240 pop. Bender on 171. So actually I take that back. Bender isn't doing as great as I originally thought. Maybe his eco is suffering at the back. They're running out of wood perhaps. Who knows. But Viper back into the trade lines again. He is going to get right in there with his camels, with his hand cannoneers, with his Enages of course, and with his Mamelukes. He's going to be able to kill off more trade carts. That's his main objective still. Of course, bringing in his own camels now, bringing in some hand cannoneers, and I think Blaze saying GG right there. They are really struggling. Look how little wood they've got. There really is no wood left on the map at all. They have chopped every tree, and man, what a game! This has been one hell of a game. Oh gosh. Incredible stuff. And of course, without any wood, Bender can't make his trash, which is a real issue for him. And Viper now pushing through, taking out the trade. There we go. Blaze has resigned, and that is GG. Woo, what a game. Look at that. That is what happens when you have 250 population with pros. You get one hell of a game. And that was something, I think it was won because of the lack of gold for Prophet and for Bender on this side. They did Viper did a good harassment on their trade, really slowed them down, and of course Bender's harassment on Viper and Bad Trip's trade didn't work out so well. So awesome game there. That was game 2 of 5. You've got 3 more to look forward to, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I have been Zach, and I will see you next time.